Welcome back to another episode of Herbal Tea Thursday. It's your Wellness Live series with your Healthy Habits and Lifestyle Coach, Giovanni, host of the Empire Plates Empire Lives podcast with my girl.
Hey everyone, it is Shireen, founder and creative director of Perspective Studio Productions and the host of the Voices and Vibes podcast.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What you got in your cup?
Just water.
I went with some nettle leaf tea.
Oh, nice.
Yes. You like it? I had it this morning in my healing my journey tumbler, but I went with it again for tonight because I either had red raspberry leaf or chamomile, but I went with nettle. Do you like nettle?
I have nettle, but I think it's in a mixture
A
of one of
blend?
these. Yeah, it's in a blend. I don't know. Today I just enjoyed a mint tea, which I haven't had in a while. I've been drinking a lot of dandelion and green tea together. But today I went simple and had a mint tea, and it was good. It was comforting.
I think in this type of weather, we kind of need the comforting vibes.
Yeah.
Mint does kind of give you that warmthness, like it just kind of tingles throughout your body. I
Yeah.
feel like somebody told me, I don't know if you heard this before, Shireen, but they said nettle is like a good tea for people with like allergies. So like my doctor was telling me before, she was like, I needed to take like an allergy pill every day. And I just feel like over time, like your body just kind of gets used to the pill and it stops being as effective. And then I was like, what does an allergy pill every single day do to like my organs or my bodies if I took it like long term? And
Yeah.
somebody was like, well, you could just do like nettle tea. That is a good thing. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, Spencer got to take an allergy pill every day too. I was like, can I give Spencer nettle tea? Like, can I boil
Yeah.
it or whatever and put it in ice cubes and put it in his
Put it in
bowl,
his
like make it
bowl.
cold? Yeah. And they
Yeah,
was
that's
like,
cool.
yeah, Spencer can get nettle tea. So you have heard it before?
Yeah. I think the blend that I have is probably for so my son has allergies, but even just for cold, but I can't remember off the top of my head right now. So
I got you.
yeah.
Other than that, I've heard people talk about like for fatigue or detoxing or people with anemia, like blood issues, and then like for your period, like nettle tea is pretty
Mhm.
good for you. But it was recent that I learned that it could be good for like allergies. That's what's up.
Allergies. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's cool. All right. Cheers. Bam bam. Cheers.
Go ahead, check us in.
All right, I pulled one already.
Okay.
How do you protect your peace?
Mm. How do I protect my peace? How do I protect my peace? Sometimes it's listening without um, feeling the need to, I would say, like express myself or defend another thought or notion or um, clarify something from my own point of view or perspective. I think sometimes I protect my peace by just listening and taking in what someone has to say or whatever their thoughts or feelings or beliefs might be, just taking it in and just hearing them out, versus having to feel like I need to now be heard,
Yeah.
is a way that I protect my peace. Because I think it was like, what's that book called? Four Agreements. When they say like never take anything personal, which is such a hard agreement, but it's like never take anything personal. And it's so like everything that you do know or see or experience with other people, you're just getting to know them versus it being a true reflection of who you are,
Mhm.
regardless of how they may see you. And so I think that's a good way that I protect my peace is just really listening more than talking and doing my best to not take things personal.
Yeah.
What about you?
Mm, how do I protect my peace? Um, I don't even know if it's the listening part. Sometimes it's
Mhm.
just the letting go part. So I not responding, but I'm not even listening. Like Like that sounds like something you got to deal with. Like yeah, sometimes it's just the letting go. So by the time you want to talk, it's got nothing to do with me.
That is an accurate way of protecting
Hmm.
your peace, is to not even hold it or own it, to go ahead and let it
It's
go.
not. It's I don't own it. No, it has nothing to do with me. So
Nothing to do with me. Okay, okay.
hmm
Y'all let
let
us
it
know in
go.
the comments, how do you protect
Protect
your
your
peace? Let us
peace.
know in the comments
Hmm.
whether you watching the live right now or catching the replay. Check in with us and let us know, how do you protect your peace?
Yeah. Excuse me. Hmm.
And while you're checking in and your fingers are on the screen or on the computer, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to both of our YouTube channels. We greatly appreciate it. Let YouTube know that our channels are providing some good vibes and
Sure.
value to help us better promote our show. All right, Shireen.
For sure. For sure. For sure.
Wellness Win, talk to me.
Oh, girl. Oh, this week has been a tough week just because uh we're gonna get into like the conversation of this week today, but I have been putting in hours just to do double duty.
Mm.
So I'm tired, but I'm also whenever I'm cold, I yawn a lot because my body's like trying to get warm. So I'm cold right now. So I don't even know if I'm tired or I'm just like really cold. Wellness win. What is that wellness win? I can't even think of what it is. Mm, I think that I had a little cry. Not I think I had a little cry today.
Mhm.
Not too long ago, and it had a little bit of release in those tears. So sometimes the cry is just a good way to like get it out, but it might not be all the way out. Um, yeah, so that's I think just like a little bit of the frustration
Mhm.
that I've been feeling got a little bit out with that cry. So
I
hmm
like it. I'm gonna lean into that too. I'm gonna go with a little cry. I got a little cry in on Tuesday. Was that yesterday? No,
a couple of
day
days ago.
before
Yeah.
yesterday. I got in a good like cry on Tuesday, during a work event when I was speaking, and I think it was just really me setting into this new role, and then just kind of like how things just kind of aligned itself,
Hmm.
in this position, but then at the same time, just getting to a point where it was like the hardest part was about to be over, and so it was like a stress reliever type thing, like I'm getting ready to the next thing, towards the end of the year, and so this part is over, but it's really just like the type of support has been a big thing for me because I'm not used to um, getting support from higher ups, and so having that administrative support is something different for me, and so that was a big thing, but also just being able to overcome challenges and things that you didn't even know that you were even going to be doing, and getting into like this phase and letting something go that you cared a lot about, that you built and established, to take on something different. I
Hmm.
think it was that wave of emotions just kind of hit me, when speaking on the word intention, and the impact that I have in my role, when it comes to what I do outside of my business. And I think that wave of emotion was a good release, but it also allowed people to get a better understanding of what I'm navigating through on the inside, that a lot of people don't always get to see on the outside, when you're just so go, 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 and you just get stuff done, regardless of what type of help or no help you get.
Hmm.
And I think that was my wellness win.
It's funny that you say all of that because, like, even though our talk is about, I just opened up my phone to see what the talk was, and I'm like, I feel like we should totally change the subject. But everything you said is like how I feel about my business. right? In the sense of like, people are not seeing some of the things that you have to do, and you don't always have the support. And even in my cry, other people were here, and that was like a part of it, and it's like something I was talking about last night. And I know I've said it to like other um business owners, is like sometimes um people don't see the tears that you go through. Honestly, Giovanna, I wouldn't even mind changing the topic altogether. We just change the thumbnail afterwards. But you tell me. But like sometimes people don't see the the struggle or the grind. You hear a lot of the good stories, and you hear some of the struggle afterwards. And what you just said there, like how you're going into the next stage, I'm literally holding on to the thought of, I can't wait till I'm past this stage so I could talk about this stage. Right. And like, it's not easy. Right. And it's just me. Right. So even though I have like other things, or have a business partner, there's like things I need to do. There's things I need to get to. But it still comes down to, it's just me. And then I have a couple new people joining the team, and it's like, it takes time for them to ramp up and know how to do things.
Mm-hmm.
So, I could be showing something, or they could do something, and it's like, okay, this looks good, but this happened. Or this looks good, but we need to do this. Or, okay, try that out and then regroup, excuse me. And it's taken time. So in my mind, what I have earmarked for them to do, I still have to kind of go back and do myself, because it takes time. Right. So it's like, but still, that's only like a portion of like operational things. When it comes to the bigger things, it's just you, like, you got to figure it out. And it's not as glamorous. It's not as glamorous, right? Especially like, Giovanni, we invest in ourselves, right? Like, that investment's no joke. Not a lot of people invest. And like, honestly, I don't even care, because like, that is not my story. But like, of us, when you invest in yourself, and you have to, sometimes you invest in yourself and you don't even know the full dream, or you don't know the full picture, right? So you do this investment to get ahead, to figure it out. So you put in time, you put in money, you put in energy, and you still can't even do like the other things. And I just right before we went live, I opened up an email. I saw this email in one of my email accounts, and I was like, what's this? And what's it doing in this email account? And I'm like, oh shit, I missed something else. Like, I'm like constantly like missing things. And it's like, I didn't even remember. I knew about it, but I forgot. It's not on my calendar. So now I'm seeing the the like follow up or whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it is literally not easy, right? And even though, like, I don't know if we're gonna change the topic or not change the topic or whatever, but in the class that I took, the very first class, the instructor has been an entrepreneur. She's had multiple businesses. She grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. Um, she's sold her companies, and now she works. But her job is supporting entrepreneurs. And the first thing that came out of her mouth um, is like, do not give up. And like, I was taking my shower today, and I'm like, just like, it's last year I said, I believe in my ability to figure out. And this year it's supposed to be like, it's got to work, or it's got to work. Um, but I was like saying to myself, okay, don't give up. Like, it's got to work. And I'm envisioning, that like picture where you see the person um chipping away, grinding away on the rocks. They're trying to build this tunnel, and then they're so close to like the gold, right? Like they're so close to whatever that breakthrough is, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And they want to give up, and it's not that I want to give up. It's just like
But it's like right there. You can see it, but the person can't see it. And
the
they're just at
person
that
that's
point where they want to
chipping
stop. And it's
can't,
like right there.
and
Yeah.
it's not easy to constantly chip.
Mhm.
So like if we go back to the tears, it's like you're alone, you're in that tunnel, you chip in, it's cold, it's dark, you're alone, you're lifting something heavy, and you're just chipping at this freaking whatever it is, and you feel like you're not getting far, even though you still have like this whole path.
The analogy you gave made me think about this other analogy that I saw. And I think I reposted it yesterday. So it's two boys running in the hallway, right? And it's almost
Mhm.
as if they're doing a relay. And it's the whole picture is about instant gratification, right? And so there's these, what do you call those things? Cones, little small cones. They're
Mhm.
lined up in the hallway. And so the boy on the left is doing like the instant gratification. He's picking up the closest cone and dropping it off, picking up the next closest. You know what I'm saying? And the boy on the right is going all the way down to the end, getting the cone, bringing it, going all the way back down and bringing it. Who do you
Mm.
think actually won?
Is it the one that was going all the way down?
It was. And so people get so caught up in the instant gratification and doing things right now within what's close to them, what's in reach, and they're expecting to get, like this huge gratification to get the reward already. And it's not until you get so many reps in and you go so far out that it starts to you still end up beating the person who tried to take the slowest, the fastest way and the quickest way to get wins. Does that make sense? And
Yeah.
so when you went at the chipping thing, it made me think about those boys running down the hall. Because when I tell you, little man on the left who was, going real fast, real quick, and he started going real far out, and he kept having to run back. And he kept seeing the
Yeah.
other boy already getting closer, and now he's just grab, go to the end. He was just like, both of them just kind of fell out at the end. But it's like when you were talking, I heard one, you're growing. You just talked about onboarding, having other people coming to help you. Like now you're really about to put a system in place that is going to allow you even more time to put those things on the calendar, look through your emails at a certain particular time so you can start tracking and better organizing your time and getting structured. But now you're about to put a process in place because you're about to do the hard work with these first set of people to put something there that you don't ever have to onboard again, because now you have a whole thing of how you're going to show people how to do this stuff. And so to me, it sounds like growing pains that only you're going to feel because you're the visionary of what it is that you're doing. And to be able to have people want to come in to be a part of your vision, I think it's beautiful, but it's definitely not glamorous. And not a lot of people show that side of their business or is vulnerable to that experience. So I don't know who might have been in the studio, but I'm glad they got to see the real, because you're all about perspective studio productions. Everybody needs to see the different perspectives of how things, kind of lay out, how they go, how they
Mhm.
flow. And so I just want to remind you that you are growing, and now you're putting intentional systems in place to where you don't have to do this by yourself. And so go ahead.
I was gonna say it's funny that that's your response because what was it, like 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 4 hours, whatever the time was today, when we were saying to you, "You're growing." You're growing. So it's funny that like that we literally said the same thing to each other in the same day.
But your
Lit-
growing pains look different than mine.
yeah, it, like our
Yeah.
growing pains look different, and my growing pains, my growing pains are not just my business because it's like it impacts every aspect of my life. And I had a client. So the client that I had before had a guest on her show, but both of them are my clients. Um, and so in different ways, both of them are actually my clients. And the three of us were talking, And it was like, how did we meet? One girl said, wait, how do you know Shireen? And I was like, you both had an event around the corner from here, and I went, and that's how, like, they knew each other. But that's where I met one client, and that's where I started to get to know the other one, even though I already knew her. We already followed each other um a little bit um deeper, better. But what I was saying was, one client was talking about, one of the ladies were saying, like, what their support system looks like.
Hmm.
And I was just thinking, Shereen, don't cry. Do not walk out of this room and be like, look, they're going to see one person, because I ain't switching shit because I got to go cry. Ugh. Anyhow.
But I think that's just what it looks like. I think it's just really boils down to growing, and then really also just being vulnerable with your business, you know. And like you said, it affects your whole life, but that's wellness, right? It's how you make your money, it's how you take care of yourself. It's all those different dimensions of wellness that kind of interconnect, you know. So I feel you on that.
It's
Wellness,
funny
I guess
because,
that's go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, it's funny because when you first asked me, or maybe before we got on the phone call prior to this, I was thinking, oh, maybe I just say, let's talk about, like, the painfulness of your business. But I never said it, and I never. As soon as we got talking, I was just like, I don't know.
Literally.
Yeah, literally, because, like,
Literally.
sometimes you just can't. For me, think
And I understand that.
you cannot
But I
think.
feel like if you haven't realized, y'all, now we're moving into, don't forget to drop y'all wellness wins. Like, we just kind of
Mhm.
went through ours. But don't forget to share it with us. What's up, Tamisha? What's up? Oh, shoot. Thank y'all for joining us and pulling back up to our Herbal Tea Thursday. But definitely tap in and let us know what your wellness wins are so we can celebrate them. And then we're talking about how is your business driving education. And as you can see, we're learning through life's lessons right now. Shireen, something that you talked about was about growing. I was going through my notes, and it was something that I was going through in regards to like some of my mindset notes. And I think I was talking about like how y'all saw me as growing, you know, subscribers, and how my content is growing. And I was just like, but I feel like I'm lacking the engagement and the focus in my notes for mindset was to not focus on the engagement, but focus on building the relationships. And so that shifted for me in regards to, instead of looking for the engagement and looking at the numbers, the goal was for me to really just focus on building the relationships, because the more you build the relationships, the more I'm able to impact people, because there goes that know, like, and trust factor. You know, and then it doesn't even have to be with like. So I was listening to a book too, and then people don't have to necessarily like you to find the things that you're doing valuable, and be able to be life changing. And so I really want, if that resonates with anybody, don't focus on the numbers, don't focus on how much money you're making right now. Focus on the relationship you have with yourself and maintaining your why for what it is that you're doing. Because like Shireen said, it's not going to be glamorous. You're going to have growing pains. And you're going to be seeing things in a whole nother perspective than other people are seeing what you have going on and what you're doing. And what you're doing, you're not doing it just for you. It's not a self-serving business. So make sure you give yourself that grace and that space to feel the feels, but know that there's so much more to what's going on than what is taking over your emotions or your thoughts at that particular point in time or in that moment.
What's the name of the book that you're reading? Because I was reading. Um, what's the name of your book? The book that you're reading.
Um, Gap Selling is
Okay.
the book that I'm reading. Went from advertising in the Christmas parade to being invited to the Iris Festival parade. Let's go. That's a
Cool.
win right there.
It's really cool.
Very cool. I'm getting bags together with the World American Double Dutch League flyers along with my business card
You
for
are
South.
so good. I did not know what that acronym meant, and you straight did.
To throw out with candy inside. That's what I'm talking about. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Speaking of that, I need to respond to an email because I got invited to a community education, inaugural community education thing, and I was asked to have a table there after I spoke
Oh,
to. I think I was telling you about it last week. The speaker that came into my class, and so I need to follow up on that email too. So thank you, Tamisha, for that win. Anybody else that's joining us, make sure y'all drop y'all wellness wins in the chat. And then Shireen, let's get into this thing.
well, I was gonna say, I was asking you, what was the name of the book?
I think it's gap selling. Let me look back
Gap.
and again. Yeah, I think it's gap selling. But you remember, like sales is like a thing that I have to really learn. Like I don't have that background or that insight.
No, so I've been reading or listening to the E Myth again, and I only got through, I think,
Never heard of that.
yeah. I honestly, I keep it keeps getting recommended to me, and like, or in the spaces that I'm in with other business people, and I think Donnie had us read it because I when I opened it back up, I had already read 3 chapters, right? So I was like, "Oh, okay." I clearly didn't listen to it because I did not remember it. So I started it back again. Um, let's see. And they talked about building the relationship with your people, like your audience, and just like, that's what's going to help you grow. And funny enough, one of my clients before us that was live, she talked about, it came up multiple times, about how she used to get fixated on like the numbers. And
Mm.
her and I have had a conversation because we were in like these groups, and the groups have like thousands of people. And she's had an event, and she's like, why didn't I sell out already? Like I thought.
I
But
was about to say we already know the answer to that. You can
well,
have 50,000, a hundred
not
thousand, a
everybody's
million followers. Not everybody gonna pay for whatever you have. Not
but
everybody gonna
not
take
everybody's also engaged. Like, just because the
that
number
at
is
all.
high, people could be dormant. I've been in that group for a minute, and like I only really started engaging last year. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Again, right? Because like Facebook groups or whatever. So like there's that part, but even when I go back to the book was like treat your customers well. And so sometimes when while you're building, at least for me, as I mentioned, I'm doing 1,001 things. I'm doing a lot of things, but I don't feel like I'm doing a lot of things, which is crazy, right? So even in the process of that, it's like things are going to be delayed, or things are going to be slower, or I'm trying to do all these things. So it's like being the expert of all of nothing, doing everything and being the expert of nothing. Right. So you feel like you're not doing enough, or you're not doing it good enough, or you're making mistakes. And so even in that state, it's like, okay, how am I being seen? Am I, or are they having compassion? Are they having grace? How do I make sure I'm still being nice? Like I am showing that part, right? It's about like being vulnerable when things are still not going right. And just because you are doesn't mean it's accepted, or you're overthinking that it won't be accepted. Like there's a lot.
There's so much relatability when people are able to be vulnerable. And I think there's
Mhm.
so many other people that are out there just being whatever, whoever, or thinking this is just who they need to be and not able to be themselves. I think people come for the real. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they need. They need the real. They want to go along on the journey. I think people have told you the same thing before. You know, a lot of people wanted to see my journey on the high raw vibes. A lot of people were looking at you when you were, you know, doing your different lock journey and different things when you were building your studio. Like people were following along with those experiences. People don't want to see, and we've heard it
Perfect.
before. I don't know if
They
you
want to
heard
see
it. They don't
perfect.
want, yeah, they don't. If they did that, they would go to Netflix. They will go to cable. They'll do that. They won't go to YouTube, or, they won't go to these places that any and everybody can have to just document and be able to provide value in their own way, unscripted. Like, no one has to put us on a network for us to be able to just show up for people and be positive, be empowering. You know what I mean? And I think that's just what it boils down to. So I think your vulnerability is what people need and what people want. A true journey through something is like people don't want to see that every time I try something, it tastes good. Like, they don't want to see that. They want to know what's nasty too. Like they don't want to. Like, I saw this one girl talking about, she had PCOS, and she was like, take this like garlic cloves and turmeric and then apple cider vinegar. When I tell you, this girl had something, I just felt like you would just automatically want to throw up at the smell of it. And she like took the spoon and she was like, very disgusting. And then like she kept going. She did it with a straight face though, so I don't know like what the
probably disgusting
was. And I was like, exactly. And let me keep going because I do not want this in my algorithm. But like, people want to know when something tastes good and when it's not good. Like I've done different things where I've tried it and I was like, nah, this ain't good. Y'all leave it in the store.
But I think there's a difference between wanting to like watch something versus when something's not good and you're on the receiving end of the not good, right? Right? Like, or, and I'm not even saying not good, just like the growth, because like you're on the receiving end of the mistake. You're on the receiving end of when things go wrong. You're on the receiving end of the delay. You're on this, when you're the client, right? And I have to think about, even for myself, like, how would I be if I was on the receiving end of the delay, right? I know me, I'm impatient. I'm impatient. So I'm going to be like, okay. So when you're,
but I mean, the people are people too. You have to put a little humanity on this thing. And I think sometimes people lose that. They want, and I feel like that's why so many like crazy things are happening in the world, because people are losing the humane aspect of this thing called life. Like, nobody is perfect. Just because you paid for a service or whatever the case may be, like, it's just like that. Just be human. And I think that's what we need to lean a little bit more into, is that we are all human. Nobody is perfect. And even if it's a mistake, that's still a lesson learned. Like, you're growing from that. Like, now you're not even who you used to be 10 minutes ago because of now you've had this type of experience. And just like you just said yourself, like, you switched that. How would I feel on the other side of that thing? Again, you're making a human connection on what this would be like to experience it differently, knowing that people are different. And so Ashut was like, I don't want to see perfection. I like seeing the real deal, raw and unfiltered. Okay. It's good when Spencer gets to enjoy whatever treats he gets. Right. Spencer just got some new cookies too. So yeah, like, he likes some things and then some things come right back up and his stomach didn't handle it. But that's what I think it's just about, being human and learning and growing through the experiences that we are afforded and privileged to experience. Because even, and I'm gonna say that because even where we are right now in our journeys, it's better to learn right now at the price point that we are, for whatever the cost may be, than it is later down the road. You know what I mean? And so I'd rather take it now than later. So
yeah. No, I hear you. And I keep thinking, and I was saying to one of the ladies that, like, I honestly am thinking, I cannot wait. It's like, you got to be present, but I honestly cannot wait to get past this stage so I could talk about this stage, as like,
I know my intern ready for me to get past this stage and not having enough people engage with me to just let me know how things are going. Because I mean, I'm just constantly just thinking, how else can I show up? What do I need to offer? And I'm just waiting for more people to engage to let me know what it is that they, would need. Because just because I believe that it's beneficial because it's something I would do or want, doesn't mean that's what other people would, want. So I just feel like that's like, I just want that insight. I want to keep getting the reps and the firsthand experiences so I can start to really create that foundation to, seeing what that vehicle will really look like. But it's just like, I just get to keep talking to myself and talking around all these different things and sharing it with other people. But one thing, excuse me, I love the videos you're putting out about what ingredients to pay attention to when buying food. Thank you. And that's exactly what I was getting ready to talk to. Like, I'm loving seeing people learn from my grocery store content. Like, I think I didn't realize how valuable that content was, like, had I known it was that important and empowering and educational to people, I could have been to the grocery store and kind of doing that, but I had no idea until my coach took me out there to shoot that content in the grocery store. And for me, I think I've always just seen people like dancing in the grocery store or, like doing all of these different things. I've never really sat there and pictured what could I do in the grocery store that it's me and not trying to be anybody else, and how to help people. And I think not talking over people's head or not overwhelming them with so much information, but to take it to another level. And I think not only has the Sprouts grocery store content has been beneficial, but even downloading an app and scanning things, like even with my students, like I think I told you about that last week, like they're enjoying me scanning things and then reading out like some of the high risk and be like, okay, I'll do that in moderation. Like, I think people get empowered when they're educated. And so right now, I believe that my business is being driven by education for healthy swaps, not just what I'm eating in my own lifestyle, but how they could make choices when they shop to make their own healthy swaps. And to even include stuff that, I don't even eat, like bacon.
Sorry.
And no, you're okay. Like bacon or salmon, like stuff that I don't even consume, but it's still educating them because it might be something that they still, might be consuming. So I think it's been really fun. And even though I'm seeing the numbers go down low with my views and somewhat of the engagement, I'm loving the relationship that I'm able to build by just the people who are commenting on those videos and asking them, are they going to try something different? Or if they do try those chips, what kind of, dip are they going to go with? Or will you still keep going with that vegan butter now that you know what that's like? Or will you change it? Because it's all about you making those choices,
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool to see that. And I think I had already mentioned to you, I think last week or offline, that I know someone who went viral by going to the grocery store and talking about the benefits, right? So it's cool, and it's like good for you to kind of get comfortable in that new, right?
I definitely want to go back. I want to go back and talk to the produce manager, and I want him to educate us on how to pick the right produce, like what to look for.
That's cool.
Doing that. That's the next thing I want to do. Yeah, because he was so ready to get in the video when I was in there. Let me call up there so the next time he can take us and we'll know, because I don't know every single thing about picking the right, type of
I'll foresee your first sponsor.
I hope so, but I'm just saying, like, I think that would be dope to help people,
cool.
Learn how to pick the right produce.
That's cool also because it's different. So I think that's cool.
Thank you. I don't know if anybody's ever done that before, but definitely.
Listen, sometimes even if they didn't, I could see people copying it because it's cool. Like getting the produce guy to like weigh in, or like the butcher guy to weigh in on like how do you get the right salmon, or you know what I mean, or like this salmon is are they gonna give it all though? Like this salmon is, because you want the like the more red one over the pink one, right? So because one is wild and it looks different versus the farmed one, right? So, but I mean, I think a couple of years ago when I was out in Nova Scotia, um, which is out by like the ocean, it was the first time I actually seen what farm salmon looks like in the ocean. So it's still in the water,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, you could like Google it or whatever, YouTube and TikTok, but like to see it while I was on the water was quite different. I was like, oh, okay. And I think I seen when they put the things down or whatever, but to just be on the water and to see it, all right, I still want the wild one. Just bring the wild one in. But depending on your
I
budget,
still don't want the farm.
well, depending on your budget, just throw some season on that, you're good to go. But so I think it's cool content. Hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool.
I'm with it. I'm with it. And
Hmm.
then I'll shoot. I can definitely grab a pineapple and let them tell us how to
How to
pick the
pick it.
pineapple. Have you ever heard of pink pineapple before?
Is it like sorry, hold on.
No, you
Oh,
okay.
is it mixed with another fruit?
I have no idea. I just saw that somebody mentioned pink pineapple.
I would
I don't
assume
know if it
that.
was today or yesterday on Instagram. So when All Shoe said grab a pineapple, do you want the regular pineapple or do you need me to find a pink pineapple? And do I need to
Start
ask
with the
if they
regular.
have that in the back?
Start with the regular. But I think that when you see the hybrids, it's because of
Done.
how it was planted, right? When they crossbreed, because the plant like they become hybrid that way. So that could be how it became pink, and then if the flavor changes slightly because of that hybrid, right?
Yeah, I'm with it. And if y'all catching the replay or you watching now, let us know if you've ever heard of pink pineapple.
Mhm.
And yeah, Tamisha, that is what's next. So after I'm done with the grocery store,
Mm,
I'm then going to the farmer's market. I'm taking you on a journey for that because I've never really been a farmer's market shopper. And I
mm,
know that the farmer's market doesn't necessarily always carry organic produce. And so just being able to know that you can go there, like Shireen said earlier about the budget, you can probably go a lot further with your money at a farmer's market. But the thing about Sprouts is Sprouts supports local farmers, and some of their produce actually is utilized there too. So I'm definitely doing a farmer's market after Sprouts. So I'm
mm.
with you on that. I'm with you on it. All right, Shireen, you got the cards to get ready to check us out?
I didn't talk about my education.
Oh, you're right, girl. Come on. Come on.
um so for me, I have been um I have applied to a couple of grants, and then from the grants you have to like go through like courses because you're not always guaranteed to get the full amount, so you have to like do um a set of work and go to classes and take in all of this work. And the great thing is a lot of the option there's a lot of options, and I waited to the last minute, but there's a lot of options, but there's a lot of options offered to a lot from a lot of different organizations. So you can go in person, you can go on um self-taught um webinars. You can go They can have like a webinar. Sorry, when I say self-taught, like a course, you could just do a course that's there. But there's so many things. That one of the courses for a financial one was gamified, which was really cool. Yeah, which was
They
really cool.
always talk about that. Like when you
So
suggest
cool.
it with the AI team, they always be like, gamify the experience. Gamify,
No, but
gamify
it's
it.
like learning, because a lot of people, especially when you start a business, it sometimes is the finance part, especially if you're not good at like the finance part. That's the part you kind of shy away from. You want to make your product, or you want to sell whatever you're selling, or you're doing your service. But when it comes to understanding your numbers, um, understanding your cash flow, understanding if your cash flow negative or your flow positive, um, that part is not always the part that you run to learn. And in the part, I think the part that I found interesting is I do recall at around the end of last year, I was thinking I probably want to take like a finance course so I could understand things better. And like the end of last year, I know that I wanted to like fix my cash flow. So I need to implement this CRM so I could implement this part of my invoicing. So I could implement this. So I could do this. So I could do that. And so now I feel like, okay, I got a little bit of a handle. And then because I'm like doing two different grants, I have like different mentors. And so I
Mm,
was telling my mentor, okay, I'm now taking this and I'm thinking about getting rid of this. And he's like, why would you do that? The more credit card payments you take, you need to look at the processing fee for credit cards and calculate how much money you're losing based on
mm,
those credit
mm.
cards. And I was like, oh, I wasn't even thinking. And he's like, a lot of people don't think about that. Or like in the
Mhm.
other course, um, she was like, when she was a entrepreneur at one point, she kept taking from her till to go buy lunch, to go buy lunch, to go buy. That's something I know well, right? So, but then she wasn't making the connection when they were reconciling at the end of the month and trying to figure out where did they lose all this money? Where did this money go? In her belly, right? So the gamification went a step further for the finances of like, here's the equation to tell the average amount of time it takes to get paid, or the average by the average amount of inventory that you have before you need to re-up. So you can get a better understanding of either you need to sell faster, you need to get paid faster, so all of these, there's like three, I have it written down, there's like three different equations that you need to take into consideration so you can actually understand your cash flow better. So it's not
Mm.
just cash in, cash out. That's just a part of it. Like when you're looking at the bigger picture. So the courses have been really good. Like I think last week I spoke about.
Eye opening.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Last week I think I spoke about like just going down in your segments, right? And this week I went back and I looked at some other courses and it really talked about the copy that you're going to write for those specific segments and how
Mm.
to really target your people, right? So the classes have been so good, and it's free. And it's free. So like tap into your local small business centers because they usually have courses that you can take to understand. And it's like, I was thinking, the joke about this is one or two of the spreadsheets I've seen before, I've been to for many, many years. I always go to these small business centers because I always have an idea of a business, right? So I've been going to them. So I've seen these templates before and filled them out and la, la, la. This time was like the most in depth where I was like fully retaining and like, okay, so I got to put this in and do that. I think I've done it once before in depth, but like this time, a lot of things, more things made sense.
You think it's because of where you are in your journey right now?
So
And,
1000%
and it goes
where
right back to what you said earlier about it takes time, right?
it is 1000% because me wanting a business at home is different from me having overhead. So the things I look at is completely different. Like they were like, even yesterday I met with my business partner on the other side of the city, and she was like, if you're not on the phone talking to potential clients, how you paying the next bill? Even
Mm.
in courses, they said the same thing. And in a matter of different words, of like those specific equations will let you know if you're going to be short on the amount of money you need, right? So it is definitely a different stage in my business, but I just wish it would make me just safely just drop pounds because all it makes me want to do is just eat because it's just like I'm hungry and I'm like, I don't know if I'm hungry or if I'm stressed. Like like
I'm
what is
glad you
it?
realized that connection. Some people don't even realize that connection at
Yeah,
all.
like I'll eat a bowl of soup and be like, well, I ate a bowl of soup. One girl goes to me, well, what'd you eat? And I was like, well, I ate a bowl of chicken noodle soup. And she's like, well, that's nothing. I'm like, are you sure? Because I feel like I shouldn't be hungry.
So, but that's nothing. So
Yeah,
what you calling?
it's been a few hours, and I'm like, I feel like I have not ate all day, but it's
Mm.
there's so much. I think and even before this, before I go to where my second thought was going, next month I'm doing a talk on like the 15th of March.
Hmm.
And I know we did like some promo videos last week for it, and I know I want to talk money. This is like a whole other part, and I only have 15 minutes to talk. This is like a whole other part that's going to be added to the discussion, or like what I'm talking about.
15.
Yeah, because there's like multiple speakers.
Oh, you got to really practice this thing, Shireen. 15
No,
minutes.
I don't know. I don't practice. I don't really practice.
Well, you got
I'm
to
just
know the
my
points
talking
to hit.
points. Yeah, I'm gonna just have my talking points. I'm gonna have my talking, like, I'm gonna be very strategic about my talking points. Maybe
Okay.
that's one or twice, but once or twice. But this, and even listening to the E Myth, there's things that
And
I'm
that's
gonna.
E-MYTH. Is that what it is?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the book. Hold
Okay.
on.
I might get that on my next
Article.
Audible credit.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate it.
The E Myth. And so they revisited. They, sometimes when they do like upgrades on the book or whatever.
Hmm.
But I think some of my underlining recommendations are going to be that those type of resources, because even though they had like multiple different type of resources, because you might learn differently,
Hmm.
um, but it will make you look at your business differently. So
Mm.
even though you're in the midst of doing this, and we get so caught in the content, they will make you look at things like you were not thinking. And like I said, she started by saying the first thing the second coach said was like, don't give up.
Mm.
Like the first thing that came out of her mind. And today I was like crying in the shower, like help, send me help. Do I need to put my S in the sky? Like, what do I need to do? Um,
It sounds like you need to do what your business partner said across the city. If you're not on the phone talking to the next people, what
yeah,
what are you what are you doing? That stood out for me. It's like where should I be? Who should I be talking to? Who should
yeah,
I
but
be?
when you this one person, you still have to figure out your content. She said a lot more than that. That's all I shared.
Understood. Say less. You
Okay.
do what you know you can do. And
Yeah.
that's another thing too, because I'm in the business community that I'm in. And you know it because we've been in other spaces. When people constantly keep adding to and exposing you to all these different things, you either get analysis paralysis, you get so overwhelmed because you're learning how so many people are doing all these different things, and you're wondering, okay, how can I start implementing that? Because they've seen some success, they've gotten some momentum, they've gotten something out of doing those things. Everything doesn't necessarily mean that you have to implement it right now just because they told you to do it. Like,
It
you have to
doesn't.
really figure
That's
out
not the conversation we had. No.
everything. Just because she said that, you, like you said, I am one person. What can I do with full intention and remain myself to where I can still be humane and not so easily irritated or annoyed if something doesn't go the right way because I'm overwhelming myself with so many different things? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
aren't able to
absolutely.
be
Yeah,
you.
she didn't
You
say
can't
that. I mean,
show up for you that way, even if somebody gives you a whole bunch of different things that you can do or could be doing. It's just like, nah, lock into what you can do. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, toss it on to the next thing.
I think that is really where time management comes in. And then the second coach, she sent a link, a TED talk about time management.
And we've
Um,
been talking about that over a year now. Because I remember we were doing that last year when it was what, the 12-week,
we
12
worked
hour
the 12-week year, the 12-week year.
and I think my mama got that book now. But we talked about that last January.
But it's like I'm still talking about it like this week. I literally called one of my friends. I said we on Monday we sat or on Monday we sat in our call and we were like, okay, what's the morning routine? Okay, what's the evening routine? I was like, listen, I'm gonna start the evening routine in a couple of days because I need to bang out my homework and it
Y'all
needs
put
to be
time in the chat
submitted.
if you got your time management down. Put
And if
time
you
in the chat.
don't, and if you don't, like, call a friend to call a friend because I was like, listen, I'm gonna need you by the second day. Yesterday, I kid you not. Yesterday, I got up at like 3:30 in the morning and I worked straight until I think I got back home. It was late. I got back home at around shit. Was it like 8? No, I was on the road. 'Cause I called my daughter as I was driving home. I got back home around 8, 9. And
Was it a productive day?
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay,
But I'm
good.
like on, but at 3 o'clock, 3:30. Anyhow, I call a friend to call a friend. At some point, I text my friend on Monday and I said from Monday and said, "Can you do me a favor? Call me and wake me up." She offered, and I was like, "Nah, I got 10 alarms." I was like, "Just
I know that 10 alarm friend.
call me and wake me up." Don't not It's not about if you're up, it's if you're out of bed because I'll be up and then I'll hang up and I won't be up. So the time management, maybe what I'll do after this, wait, is I'll drop the link, the TED Talk. I haven't watched it as yet.
Mhm.
I'll drop the TED Talk in the chat
I like it. As
and
a
we
comment.
yeah, I'll drop the TED Talk. Look, here it is. I'll drop the TED Talk in the chat and we could
Okay.
all watch it about time management and just like let us know what you think, right? What they say?
Not
Let
a
me
10
see.
alarm friend. LOL. I know
Oh man.
someone too. Hmm. I don't know if you seen why
Honestly,
you're looking at that. Did you see what All Shoot said about the pink pineapple?
I think they said they didn't want it.
Yeah, because it's genetically modified.
Yeah. Oh, they did a Google search.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm. Comes
that's
from
sweeter and
like
less sour. Boo.
So let's leave the pink
That's
pineapple alone.
crazy. Here
It
I
is.
thought a couple of apples, or I couldn't think what strawberries were growing beside the pine. Boo. I would rather the
Exactly.
crossbreed than the accidental crossbreed. How do I let me see.
Yeah, and then Tamisha said she loved going to the flea market. They have produce from all over. Check them out too. Mm-hmm. I
The
feel like
flea
going to some of those Asian stores, they really have a lot of different types of produce and
they do.
mushrooms and everything else. Like you really just got to get out there and explore. But y'all, Shireen is going to be dropping in a comment
You
the
won't let me
TED
do it while
Talk
oh,
video.
here it is. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah, I was trying to do it while we're
You're on?
yeah. So
Are you going to be able to
it's
get
not gonna
to
be
it?
in this chat. It's gonna
Gotcha.
be in the comment chat.
Okay.
Yeah, so I put it in the comment chat. Oh look, oh
Oh, there
look.
it is.
Oh,
There
it
it
showed
is. There
up.
it
Okay,
is. Nice.
from my phone.
Okay.
Like I can see us
Okay.
live.
So
It's
there
very
it
cool.
is.
Yeah, so we could check that
Laura
out.
Vanderkam, how to gain control of your free time. I
Mhm.
had to one of my friends had me working on time management and I had to watch a video as a part of like my homework. I wonder if this one was it. I'll see
Mm.
when I check it out.
But you know
But
what
let me pull it
though?
up.
One
Mhm.
thing that before we wrap up, one thing that my business partner said about content was now the difference is she got a whole team, right? So
Thank you for what do you call
yep,
that? Framing
absolutely.
that.
Whole team. Just to give a little context or
There you
perspective,
go.
they like to plan out to the end of the year. So they
Mm.
don't have to think about it. They just
Set
drop.
it and forget it.
Now, as people who constantly make videos, that'd be us. Might look a little different, but my task after I finish my homework between tomorrow and Saturday is to sit my arse down
Mm-hmm.
and amalgamate all of the different content ideas. And I've created the template. I pulled up what the old coach gave me, of like how she plans out her content, the type of different contents that she does, the tool that she uses. Well, I already have it in the tool, but I created a spreadsheet that shows like, let me tell you, the spreadsheet shows like um holidays, although I don't recognize, it's not that I don't recognize, I don't really celebrate all the holidays, but
I
from
feel
a
you.
from a business perspective, me aside, because my business is not me. It might be a reflection of, but
Or an extension of.
an
Mm-hmm.
extension of, but it's not me. And that was a key thing she did say, was to keep things separately. So you have your own, and when you speak about your business in the we's, we do this. Don't speak about it in first person. Have a little bit of separation from your business. But let's see. I put together the spreadsheet with that has like the holidays, the campaigns, um,
So
just
really
different.
being very intentional and strategic on what you want to put out there that's relevant. And I think that's the easier way to go about the content planning. If
Mhm.
it's something that you really want to do around, the holiday, certain calendar days that are already recognized versus trying to stay up to date and relevant to trends and making your content go with what's trending right now. Because I think
Oh yeah.
that takes a little bit more of an extra effort to research, pivot, then create and figure out how you want this to resonate with your own niche or market. So I like that because it's like set it and forget it, create it and let it go and just keep moving because your content isn't everything, when it comes to your business. And I think that's a big thing for you, Shireen. You stayed outside, you stayed at events to the part where you was like,
Girl,
okay, y'all,
I'm
I
nowhere
got
right
so
now.
many events this weekend, I don't even think I want to go. And then you end up getting ready to go, y'all, I met this person and that person and it was a
That's it.
blast. And another one be like, y'all, I could have stayed home. But it was like you got out there, and the more you
But
got
I
out
am
there,
nowhere right now. Like, no, when was the last time you seen me? I'm nowhere.
according to your business partner across the street, she said who you not talking to. So you might need to get those on the books to get back
What you
out
mean?
there. She said you got to be on the phone
Oh,
talking to them.
she was talking in general, but like,
Yeah, it's the
you
same.
know,
Gotta
but I'm
stay,
still not,
but you
what
might
I'm saying is
learn.
I'm still nowhere.
You got the
Like,
next one in March. When you got the next one in March, 15-minute speech. So
look, I
we'll
cannot wait for March. Any
you always say that it's always the next thing. Can't wait to get out of this season.
Oh,
Can't
I don't
wait
mean it
for
like
the
that.
new
I
year.
don't even mean it like, I mean like I cannot wait. I don't mean like I'm so excited. Sure, I'm excited about that. But it cannot be that you don't see me until March the 5th. So I need to, after I do this planning, be all up in this,
You got it.
but it's
You
not
got it.
always easy. It's not always easy to be all up in the space.
It won't be. And what comes easy doesn't necessarily mean it's what's going to stick or be of most value.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
because
easy
even when
ain't
you
even.
said trends, I don't really follow the trend. I feel like I don't,
Me either. I don't even know what the
that's
trends are. I
not
feel
my
like that
flex.
takes even more time. Then I'm really probably not gonna put nothing out there by the time I do all of that.
That is not my flex.
But
That
go
is
ahead and get
not
ready
my
to
flex.
check us out, Shireen, because we definitely started late.
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
we want to
yeah.
make sure we respect y'all because y'all still rocking with us right now. We
For
really
sure, for
appreciate
sure.
y'all pulling up and showing up. We love y'all. We're grateful for you. We
Absolutely.
hope you got something out of this conversation, but just the fact that y'all showed up is very supportive
Dope. Mhm.
of us to even continue to want to be vulnerable. And
Mm.
we're grateful for that. Something popped out.
Yeah, just as I was
Go ahead.
about to,
Okay.
and I don't think we've ever had this one.
Okay, great. Let me hear it.
Okay, you can type it in.
Okay.
Better. Oh wait, no wait, I can type it in from my phone.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so this one is better, and it says, "You are doing better than you think you are."
Mm.
That's
We
It's like a
needed that.
message. Yeah.
We needed
Yeah.
that. We needed that.
Absolutely.
We needed that. We all needed that, y'all. We all needed that.
Yeah.
Yes, I heard you. Take it in and letting it out. We all needed
Yeah.
that. Y'all say that out loud to yourself one good time
Yeah.
to
You
let
are
your
doing
inner
better.
voice hear it. Say it again, Shireen.
You are doing better than you think you are.
Mm,
And I was gonna put an exclamation mark, but they put a period. Full stop. Full
mm,
stop. So I know we always talk about like having grace,
mhm.
but I think it's more about instead I'm not gonna even say having grace, I'm gonna just say recognizing that we are doing good.
We are.
Mhm.
We are. We needed to hear that.
Mhm.
And I know it wasn't just us that needed to hear it too.
Mhm.
So, y'all, it's been another great evening with you for
Mhm.
Herbal Tea Thursday. I am needing to jumpstart my body. So I am doing a 3-day juice feast.
Ooh.
Sunday, Monday,
Sunday,
and
Saturday.
right, going backwards. Yeah. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, I'm going to be
Mhm.
doing a juice feast. So I want you to make sure you grab the 5-day meal plan. And I am doing juices off the 5-day meal plan. Which three, I'm not exactly sure, but I really just need to do something different with my body. I haven't been eating the best. I haven't been getting all my juices in, and I can just feel it. I can feel the
Mhm.
fatigue coming. I can feel the lack of focus and creativity. I can
Mhm.
feel the weight coming on. And it's been so cold that I haven't been able to get out there and walk like I want to. It's below freezing. So I need to do
That is
something
so funny to hear
different.
as a Canadian.
Yeah, that's the way that plane flipped over in Toronto in that snow, and it just pushed like a pounced on the thing like a
You
little
should
dust coming out.
see
I was like, y'all cold up there.
you should
Um,
see the snow. They're like
no, I saw
mountains
the
right now.
icicle thing that you showed us in the group. I was like, but y'all, I'm doing a 3-day
Mountains.
juice feast. Join me.
Mhm.
Get the 5-day meal plan and pull up. I'll probably post most of the stuff in my Facebook group. So I think it's Empowered Plates, Empowered Lives support. But once you get the 5-day meal plan, there's an icon that has Facebook. You just click on the link and join the group. And I will be doing a 3-day juice feast. So come vibe with me. Come support me, even if you're not going to do the whole 3-day thing. But I'm with you. Go ahead, Shireen.
I would love to do something, but I cannot commit to it.
I'm
I
with you.
cannot commit to it now. I don't know if it I don't wanna, like, be, like, hungry. I just I do not feel like I'm always hungry. I can't even tell what's going on. I can't introduce something else that's gonna, like, frustrate my brain right now.
Agreed. I was just letting you say, like, go ahead, Shireen, with the closeout. I wasn't inviting
Oh,
you. I wasn't
no,
inviting you on it.
no, because the reason I found my Vaseline this whole time, my lips dry, looking for the Vaseline. I was, like, trying to
Girl,
see
I
which one
already
it was.
pulled mine out and did a little quick because
It was
they
right
not.
beside me. No, but I've been wanting to do something like I think I forgot that I wanted to do, like, a meatless month or something, right? Like, I forgot, like, I don't even have and it's funny, I think my daughter is doing, like, this month, she's doing meatless. I remember I had that thought or even just to, like
Well, you did something in January, so that was good. And so March sounds about right to go back and do
to go
something.
back to it,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, like, my
And
son pulled out my exercise machine, so I'm like, I just gotta try to get
so would it be movement then in March?
it's probably going to be because I just wanna get on there. It's
Okay,
probably
let's
gonna
do
be, I
it
think
then.
that makes the most sense, yeah.
Let's go. So March sounds like it's gonna be movement for you. I like it.
Movement March, baby,
Ooh,
movement
y'all
March.
let us know if we should make this a whole Herbal Tea Thursday vibe. Maybe we should. I don't
Movement
know. Y'all
March.
let us know. Y'all want to lock in on a movement all
Movement
March? I could deal with some consistency and trying out some different things for movement. Y'all let
movement
us
March.
know. If you're down with it, whether you're catching a replay or watching it live, drop movement March in the comments and let us know
What
if
if
that's
what if we have
going to be true.
a dance party in the midst of our live?
We'll talk about it if we get some. Oh, we got one already. Oh,
Moving words. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, what if we flick on the music?
I don't know. I'm down. It's possible. We'll have to see what the people say next week.
Get it moving.
March movement.
Madness.
Come on.
The way we be moving will be real mad. So anyhow, I'm gonna say that I was not feeling to get on this live today. Before you and I even spoke, but I'm glad we had it.
I think it's always a good thing for you, even when you're not feeling it. I think it always kind of turns out to be good. It takes a little moment, and then the vibes just be vibing. So I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
You're
thanks.
welcome. You got this, girl.
Got the energy.
Remember to protect your peace by letting it go.
Ooh. Easier said than done. Moving all over the mic. All right, people.
Thanks for vibing with us, y'all.
Take care. See you next week.